circus they roam. In a world where the Dita is the unsung hero. Welcome to the stage, the Eat Sleep Code Show. Syntax tight, our semicolons in a row. With the AI beats and the database flow. Grab your gear, hit compile and let's go. We're breaking walls in our virtual chateau. With every line we write, our universe will grow. Welcome to the grid where the brave dare to code. Eat, sleep, code, let the systems overload. Sending signals in the neon afterglow.
I did it right for once.
Hey!
I finally got the song to stop as we were going live.
Yep.
Hello and welcome to Eat Sleep Code, the official Telerik podcast. I'm your host, Ed Charbonneau, and with me is my co-host, John Bristow. How are you doing, John, in this early
Good.
early
I gotta
morning?
get my lights. My lights correct. There we go. I gotta get my lights. I use Philips Hue app to manage my lights here. I want to make sure I go with my special colors here, which are blue. So there you go.
Very cool. I've got the low-tech version. I have these little like cheapy LED lights.
Yeah.
Like I've tried like all the fancy stuff, and the most inexpensive $15 Walmart setup seems to be the best for me.
All right.
Can I start by ranting about daylight savings time? Because I think
Sure.
this threw off the stream for you, did it not? Like
Yeah,
we
sorry
started a
about
little
that.
bit late. It's not your fault at all. Like us Americans, we just like decide to change our entire like time system twice a year, and
Yeah.
like we're supposed to start at a different time than usual for you. I guess it's what an hour
it
earlier
is.
now for you.
Yes. No,
Is
no.
it-
It's an
is
hour. Yes. It's 5 a.m.
5
here.
a.m.
So there you go.
Jesus.
Mhm.
See, we got John out of bed at 5 a.m. to talk about
I'm up.
VR.
I'm a dad. I'm up at this hour. Don't worry.
To talk about VR, AR, meta
Please let's not talk about-
glasses.
no, please,
No,
let's not
I
talk about
don't
that.
have any of that today. They've backed off on that a little bit. Like we'll see what happens at the next Meta Connect.
I told you.
But
Sorry.
it got quiet for a bit. I heard there's new glasses coming.
Good. It's just
There's
what we
an
need.
update for the Quest 3 coming that shows
Yeah.
that they're still working on it, but the news cycle has died down a little bit. So we'll see.
right.
But I don't have any of that fun stuff for you at 5 a.m. today.
No.
We've got some good UI bits to talk about. And
Yes.
do you want to kick things off, John?
Yeah, sure. Let me go ahead and share my screen here. Through the magic of software, I'll make sure that folks over at home can see what's going on here. So first up, we've got Claude. Let me just go ahead and make sure that... okay, you've got it there. All right, so I'm sharing now. All right, so Claude has just recently added interactive charts, diagrams, and visualizations. So, for folks who are fans of utilizing the AI, etc., this is something that you can now do and visualize as part of this experience. So
Yep.
here's a little video that talks a little bit about it. Obviously, this is important for a lot of folks who want to visualize their work as they're utilizing tools like Claude, for example. And so they show some examples here of how to utilize a build environment, for example. There's another example here that uses the periodic table of elements as well. But this is nice. And it kind of reminds me of what we were going with GitHub and support for Mermaid. These sorts of things where you can structurally describe these things. I know that, Ed and you and the folks over at Progress Telerik are utilizing sort of visualizations as well. I think this goes a little bit beyond that, obviously, because they're constructing here foundations, etc. So pretty awesome stuff.
It looks like it's doing some like on-the-fly diagramming, which is
Yes.
really interesting.
Yes.
Like
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
infographics and everything that are. Now this is a demo reel, like it's a video. I'd have to see it in actual like production.
Oh, of course.
Like
Yeah, of
not
course.
that they're
So-
lying or anything. I'm sure it does
No,
work,
no,
but
well, they wouldn't do that. No.
they're gonna cherry pick the best case scenarios from it. So it's gonna be really interesting to see this. I did predict this a while back.
Okay.
I don't know if I aired that publicly or not, but this is something that we talked about internally about this is going to be the next step in where things are going. I did a demo for folks here in our engineering that was kind of showing how this would fit in this puzzle. So
Mhm.
with my demo, I was like, all right, I didn't use Claude. I don't remember which thing. It might have been Copilot or one of those. But I
Right.
was like, all right, chatbot, like, what are the gas prices for the last 5 years? Show me the trends, and it would come out with bullet points, right? Because it's always got to try markdown first. And I was like, okay, can you show me that in a grid? And it would do like a basic table. And I was like, all right, can you sort the table? And it would sort the table. And I was like, can you show me a graph? And then it would stop and it would go, I don't know what to do about the graph thing. Like you can go I can paste this into, a format that you can put in Excel in a spreadsheet. It would like give you options for like doing charting, but it wouldn't actually like make the chart. And I was
Right.
like, people are going to expect this next. So this is where I think this is heading. And it looks
Yeah,
like
one of the
they've done that
one of
now.
the source one of the side quests that, of course, we had mentioned, of course, was the MCP UI library and other things like that, which are basically building blocks when interacting with an MCP endpoint. I know that you guys are obviously keen on this sort of thing, so it's interesting stuff, and I think it's definitely an interesting direction in which we're moving. I do know that when I was playing with this earlier, it does take a little bit of time for it to render. So it will actively think about what it's doing over time and then eventually generate the interactive version of these things for you.
Yeah.
But yeah, it does a reasonably good job. Actually, this is me tap dancing because I'm generating one of these in the background here. I don't actually have a save chat for this. So here's an example here. I'll just show you this one here. So you can see this is one where I created the periodic table of elements, and you can see that this has just been rendered here in line here. And as I hover over each one, it will tell me about each element. It's just a way of interacting with these things.
This sounds like a
there
fun
you go.
new way to test guardrails. So
How so?
ask it to show you only the table of elements that appear in the show Breaking Bad.
Oh, geez. Okay. Show me only the elements.
I'm not suggesting that we share the recipe for anything.
Oh, good. This will be good.
Yeah, let's just kick the tires while we're here live on.
Sure, why not? Yeah.
Supported by my employer. This is not reflecting of my employer's.
It's a good show. Come on.
This will not reflect any opinions or anything of progress, by the way.
Here, let me bump up the font so you can see.
Oh yeah, thanks for that. Yeah, let's do this totally live experiment that may or may not break the rules.
I did change my model to Opus, but I probably should change it back to Sonnet, but that's fine.
Oh man, but you see where I'm going with this, right? Like,
sure,
we add these new capabilities, but do these capabilities adhere to the current guardrails that are in place to stop bad actors from doing potentially bad things? And like one of the things that the models are generally trained with guardrails on is they don't let you generate things that are harmful to people. So like chemicals for, that can do harm to folks or make drugs or those sort of things. So when you show like a different way of generating an output, did they include those guardrails in that process of adding this new UI component?
Understood, yeah. Well, it looks like it's done a reasonably good job. There's even a section here called Waltz Meth Chemistry, so there you go. Pivot plot devices, character name cards, etc. So very interesting stuff. So yeah, you can check this out now. It's available as part of Claude, and yeah, I think it's a really kind of interesting sort of way in which we'll experiment going forward. So there you go. You can now have interactive charts, diagrams, and visualizations.
I think the take it took on the elements there were plot devices and like show elements rather than like the literal like chemical
element. It did do a good job of representing them.
Yeah.
So you can see there's hydrogen, there's oxygen, there's phosphorus, iodine, lithium.
Yeah. These were like various plot devices and things.
Yep.
And then like the title of the show is in there.
Yep.
And there were some of these like character names, like CR for Cranston, so on and so forth. So in the show, like it was kind of a meta thing to use the element, what do you call them, abbreviations as part of titles and names and stuff like that.
Yep.
So it pulled that instead of the obvious guardrail break. So that's pretty cool. I like it.
Yes. Yeah. It's nice. So awesome stuff. Moving along, we recently published the AI Pulse Report over at Octopus. You can check this out at /publications up on our website, octopus.com/publications. This is a survey we did of hundreds of people, talking to them about how they're utilizing AI in the context of developer productivity. You can download it now. We also had a webinar that touched on this as well. You can watch the recording of this. It's available at our /webinars page. We talked about the AI Pulse Report here yesterday, and we've got some really good findings. So if you're all curious about, what's going on in terms of the world of AI and how it impacts developer productivity, you can check out the Pulse Report. If you need to maybe provide some evidence of why you should use Claude, for example, in your developer workflow, this might help. Generally, what we found as an executive summary is that juniors are utilizing it, but they're not being hired as much because of the AI trends around hiring right now, where the AI is being bestowed, I guess, upon seniors. And so there's a bit of a glut right now for jobs in the junior ranks. However, that being said, developer productivity is increasing. People are finding that it's a bit exhausting at times as well. There's a lot of PRs to review. I think people are slowing down as a result, but it's like any other tool. It's going to help and also hinder depending upon your experience. And so the AI Pulse Report talks a little bit about this, and you can find it up on our webinars page, which is at /webinars. We have some other webinars that are coming up. Namely, we have our 2026.1 release party, which I'll be co-hosting with friends over at Octopus. If you're all curious about what's the latest and greatest in Octopus, we have some other webinars as well coming up. You can find these all at /webinars. And that is a very quick highlight summary pack from me.
Awesome. I like the highlight report. It's really good insights there. I think we're at a time where you've got a lot of marketing hype and managers that are buying into the marketing hype.
Yep.
And then you've got marketing hype that is a drumming beat of like, this is going to replace jobs and alleviate you of headcount, which in turn makes everybody skittish that they're all going to lose their jobs and be replaced by AI. So it's a really tricky place to be in right at the moment. And hopefully this finds its footing soon and some of the panic dies down.
It will. Like any other tool, we will make some strides in this place. Incidentally, there are some layoffs that are occurring right now. Atlassian yesterday, for example, announced, I think it was around 1,600 people got laid off. And the excuse or the reasoning behind it is because of AI. I think that you saw Jack Dorsey's announcement with Block.
That was a big one.
Yeah, the 4,000 people, etc. Amazon, I think, are there's a bunch of other companies that have kind of taken upon this AI train as well.
Yeah.
I think what it says is if you're a developer today and you're concerned about where things are going, I would say skill up on AI. Get to know the tools, utilize anti-gravity, utilize Cursor, utilize the various models that are exposed to you, Claude, etc. I wouldn't use some of the more toy-like abilities, but start vibe coding some stuff, just see how it works, and then get some experience around what's available today in terms of all the various models. There's plenty of tools that you can take a look at for this. Get leveraged up on skills. That's the other thing I did want to mention, that Claude also announced its 2.0 stack for skills as well. So they revved its skills ability, and a lot of hype around skills 2.0 right now. So let me just quickly pull up a blog post that talks about this. This is up on Medium.
Skills
Richard
2.0. We just learned about Skills 1.0.
1.0, I know. So agent skills are now available. I forgot to mention this. I'll just mention it here quickly. So I've been playing with this in the last couple of days here. This shipped, I think, last week. And, this is under a well-known location now, which is .claude, which is your repository for all your Claude configuration. But Skills 2.0 is now available, etc. There are some differences to the way that they're structured. What's really nice is that in the Claude tool, there's a skill builder as well. You can utilize that as in terms of the console. Let me see if I can do a quick live demo here. So I'll fire up Claude. Let me see if I can get this going here quickly for you. And so the / command for this is, here we go. So if you take a look at the shortcuts, you can see that we have, do I have this installed? Yeah, so I can list my available skills. I don't have any skills installed locally right now, but I could utilize this. I've been utilizing this in the context of the chat window. And there's a skill builder as well that you can use in terms of the Claude UI as well as. So lots of stuff happening there. And Skills 2.0 is just new. So this stuff is moving pretty fast. I mean, There was also the I love this one. I didn't have this one queued. I apologize, but the marketing department for Anthropic apparently is one person. This was like for a company that's valued over $300 billion. People were making a lot of headlines around this. I'm quickly trying to load this in the background.
One
here.
person, but how many agents, John?
Oh yes. So this was up on Reddit. This might be this will be interesting, but this was up on Reddit that I saw. Anthropic's growth marketing team is just one person. Are we witnessing the end of traditional marketing? The reason why this came up is because they had an interview with the person who's in charge of it, and the person was like, "I'm not a coder, but I'm basically vibe coding all the marketing for our company," and I thought that was interesting. So I'm trying to quickly load the page in the background here as we're talking about this. So there was that part. There was the video that went along with that, etc. There's this X post that I'm looking at as well in the background here. I did find this one funny, which is Anthropic's entire growth marketing team has been reduced to one person, as one person for 10 months. So the way Bro has been carrying the entire company on his back and using Claude is another level. So this is guy, the reference here to what was the name of this movie again?
Is it Private Ryan or
no? This is the one where he's running to stop an attack, and this is the end scene here. Sorry to ruin the plot here. Yeah, it was. Anyways, I'm sure the chat will let us know.
Is this creative writing here where we're saying that their quote growth marketing team is one person, but their marketing team is actually much larger?
Well, there is this. So this is the blurb here that. So it's right here we go. So the growth marketing team focuses on building up a non-technical team of one. They use Claude Code to automate repetitive marketing tasks. So yeah, maybe it's not the whole marketing team. Maybe I misread that, but the growth marketing team, that's a good refinement. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So,
okay.
Yeah.
It's still like,
pretty unbelievable if you ask me.
It shows like AI can really like expand a team, whether that's sustainable or not. We don't know yet, but yeah. These tools are fascinating. John said to try vibe coding. If you haven't tried vibe coding, I think that's a really good segue with a great video to take us there.
Sick of all that messing and fussing just to share your Blazor demos? Well, fuss no more. Introducing Telerik REPL for Blazor. With Telerik REPL for Blazor, it's the perfect tool to write, run, and share your Blazor snippets and demos. Our easy-to-use online editor makes sharing your cool new demos as simple as writing code and clicking share. And why stop there? Have you ever wanted to share a live Blazor demo directly on your blog? No problem. Just click embed. It's just that easy. Install your favorite NuGet packages and try them live in the browser. You can even access all 95 Telerik UI for Blazor components in a variety of colors your friends will be sure to enjoy. But that's not all. Install the Telerik extension for Visual Studio or VS Code and share directly from your editor. Oh, amazing! Just visit blazorrepl.telerik.com and use it free now.
Do not use or operate Blazor REPL if you're allergic to Blazor REPL or one of its ingredients.
I mean,
nice.
you can't get it any better than the infomercial style advertisement there. The reason I brought it up is because we added vibe coding to Blazor REPL.
Hey!
So if you're a Blazor developer, or maybe you want to try some Blazor for the very first time, but you don't want to invest a lot of time into learning syntax and all that stuff, or maybe you just want to impress
Me?
impress a date. I mean, just bring this up to
have a date over vibe coding Blazor. Okay, fair enough.
Why not? I mean, it's
all right.
It's bound to make the night.
So show me how this works. How does this operate? Let's do an example.
You have your vibe code sidebar here. We got some prompt suggestions. We'll just use one.
You may want to pump up the font, by the way.
Yeah, we can do that. We could totally do that. That's a great idea, John. We'll make that up 50% there. So we've got our Agentic UI generator. This is the same Agentic UI generator MCP that works in Visual Studio Code, and your other favorite IDEs of choice. whether they are by JetBrains or Cursor or whatever. And we've got some suggestions here, so you can just fire something up. We can generate a landing page, and it's going to say, oh, look at that. Create a modern, clean landing page for a B2B technology platform. Include a hero section with a bold headline, a clear product overview, grid of key capabilities, customer testimonials, pricing preview, footer, etc. And it is going to build this for us in the browser where it can be executed also in the browser. So it's another REPL platform. This one's specifically designed for Blazor devs. I think it's the only one out there that's got these type of capabilities. There are some others, but they're usually pretty far behind in what it can do. So this one just upped the ante again with an assistant that you can generate code through, and it's free. Completely use this for free. All you can do is sign up for a login. There's no payment details or anything with that login. Just create a Telerik login, and you're good to go. UI generators being what they are, this is going to take a minute, so we might want to move on to the next topic. We'll come back to it as it finishes. The UI or AI stuff that we do these days is very much a put it in the oven, let it bake situation. So I'll let that run. I did want to mention that Microsoft has announced Build. They announced it just a few weeks back, I think, and is going to be in San Francisco and online. I would imagine they're going to mention AI once or twice here.
Maybe. Well, maybe. I mean, they're going with the terminal theme there, right? So that's all the rage these days. So I love how they gave Satya a laptop with all kinds of stickers on it to make him look like, give him that developer cred, you know?
Yeah. He was a developer, and I don't know if he still is. So I can't confirm or deny that he doesn't write code anymore, but he was a dev. So
I've stopped putting stickers on my laptops, incidentally. So
I have two. I went with like the large like cover style of like the protector style.
Sure.
Where you could put like one large image, and I used to have some custom artwork on my laptop. It's not around at the moment. I'm getting ready to ship that guy back for a new one. But yeah.
Anyway, Build. Anyway, sorry.
Smarter AI systems, connect with the dev community, experience what's next. I don't exactly know what to expect from Build.
Copilot, GitHub,
a lot of
blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
I think they obviously will talk about the GitHub CLI, given what you mentioned before. This looks very CLI-like. So we'll probably see a lot of CLI stuff.
Yep.
I think the CLI is, we go through these pendulum cycles all the time. And I know we've talked about it here before, John, but I think the CLI era is booming again. And it's going to just keep getting more and more intense.
I did a video 3 years ago saying we're going to have a TUI renaissance, a terminal user interface renaissance, because of frameworks like Charm and others. They're really getting slick.
Napalm Codes is sharing his
nice
stickers and images on his laptop there. Yeah, I think you're right. I didn't see it, but I definitely see it now. And I don't think the CLI part is 100% for humans, right? Like, I think the boom is coming from the fact that AIs are really good at using CLI commands. So you can open up, whether it's GitHub Copilot on a CLI or whatever your IDE of choice in AI assistant is, and you can tell it to do things and execute things, and it can perform those tasks a lot cleaner and easier through a CLI than it can, trying to do it other ways.
Well, the other way would be an API.
Yeah,
essentially.
Yep. An API, or
they're not as discoverable.
The user to do things right.
Yeah. So the docs tend to be out of date. They can be up and down, whatever.
MCPs.
It does beg, if you do have a CLI at your company, which we do at Octopus, We spent a particular attention at inputs and outputs for our CLI. So oftentimes people build CLIs and like, we'll take a lot of inputs, but our outputs will be kind of like meh, whatever. So we particularly used a bunch of frameworks that allowed us to focus on our outputs as well. The reason why is if you're building a CLI, you want to use it in these agentic workflows. You want to make sure that you can pipe or stream these things together. It's really important in order for them to be effective. So you want to focus on outputs, not just inputs.
Yeah, and that makes a good opportunity for me to mention that we have a Kendo and Telerik CLI coming. They actually, I believe, shipped already, but we don't have all of the supporting marketing and docs ready to go yet, so I couldn't share
Googling it
any
now.
visuals. But yeah, I think it just got released yesterday, so you may not even find any information about it yet. So that is a thing, and the idea there is, again, like to help developers onboard very quickly, start new projects, manage license keys, all of that type of thing, but also through Thindle's right on the money with that. It's a CLI, it doesn't have visuals.
Don't need no visuals.
You don't need
Come
no
on.
stinking visuals. The AI aspect of it also has a big play. Like there's multiple intentions here. Like the user can get onboarded very quickly, start new projects and things. But you could also just go into like GitHub Copilot with this CLI tool installed and get a lot done through prompting as well. So it's a win-win. Let's say that. So
I'm trying to find the CLI. You got me hunting in
like
the
I said,
background here.
It was just released.
I'll find it.
I
will find it.
I don't know if we published the supporting content for it yet.
I don't care. I'll download it.
Bleeding edge thing I'm talking about here.
Do you know how many scars I have from all the cuts for being on the bleeding edge I have? Come on.
Speaking of bleeding edge, John.
Oh my goodness. All right. .NET 11 Preview 2. Awesome.
.NET 11 Preview 2 is available. The .NET previews are shipping pretty much every month again, leading up to the usual release in November. I keep hearing that the union types are in here, and I can never seem to find them when I'm looking for them. So yeah, union types are going to be awesome once we get those finally in .NET. So all of the other frameworks and languages out there where you already have these things, you're probably like, yeah, we've had those forever. What's the big deal? They're great. Looking forward to that. Blazor's getting some improvements again. I mentioned some of these, I think, last time on the show. Blazor's getting a lot of like the ASP.NET era stuff brought into Blazor, which is a big win, I think, for the rest of the folks that haven't migrated yet and plan on doing a migration soon. So things like temp data support is coming.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have some of the future-facing things being added as well, like native OpenTelemetry tracing in ASP.NET Core. The OpenTelemetry dashboard in Aspire is really nice. And then we also are running an early access program if you want to get on the wait list for that, if the OpenTelemetry stuff is any interest to you. Visit Telerik.com, click the yellow banner at the top. We have an AI observability platform that we are building. It's a new product for us, and we're trying to get feedback on it. So if you're in the observability, traceability, OpenTelemetry
yes.
things,
so OpenTelemetry is really nice. We actually have it integrated into Octopus. So basically it provides a consistent set of endpoints that you can use to do observation of your systems. But what it does is it does traces, and it will allow you to view entry points and exit points, etc., along with durations. It does it in a standard way, and it also allows it. And when you standardize things around this, it allows you to build tooling really easily around it. So there's a bunch of client libraries, etc., whatever. So that's cool. You're building out a observability framework for agents that you can use, and it's using OpenTelemetry. I like that.
Yeah, we have a lot of experience with UI, so I think
You
this is
think?
a place where we can do a really good job. So right now, the way this works is, whatever your framework of choice is, there's an SDK, and you install that, and there's a couple hooks that you add to your app. It's like 3 lines of code with
That's
.NET.
nothing. It's easy.
Yeah.
It's super easy.
It intercepts that open telemetry, brings it into our UI, where you can analyze and filter and do all sorts of deep analysis on the tracing for your agents. And then you can run additional valuations and stuff like that as well. So test different prompts against different models, evaluate the responses, that type of stuff is in there. And then we have another product that is in the same realm that is getting released soon as well. I can't talk about it just yet because
Okay.
we haven't announced it, but that'll be coming soon. It has DNA it shares with Fiddler, so I'll give you that much. So that should be really cool. Fiddler's a great product, so it's nice to see more.
You guys just updated to 7.7. So there you go.
Mhm. Yeah, there's stuff in there. I think that's going to support the new things that are coming. So I think that'll be great. It's related to AI and agents and all of that good stuff. So we'll talk about it probably on the next show or two. It should be in a few weeks here. We should be able to go more in depth about it.
I've got the AI observability or platform early access program page up on my side, and I'm reading through it. It sounds really cool, and I need to know more. I'm going to check this out.
Yeah.
Very
if
nice.
you want to dig into that, John, later, let me know. We'll get you
Yes,
signed into it.
I'm joining the wait list now.
All right. Modernizing .NET Anywhere with GitHub Copilot. I was just in touch with Mika and the team over at Microsoft, asking them some questions about the modernization aspects of Copilot. It's something that they pulled the trigger on, I want to say late 2025, where there was like a standalone tool that you would run. It was an executable that plugged into Visual Studio Code, and it was a very like manual wizard-driven process. They took that whole experience, repackaged it with AI and Copilot. So now you run your modernization through prompting, and there's been an update. And part of that is that the GitHub Copilot CLI, which you can now interact with this new agent mode for specifically doing modernization and migration. And it'll take you from an older style app to Azure to do all sorts of stuff. So it's not linear at all. It's got different branches it can take to do different things. And one of the things that you can do is add skills to it. And it also supports MCPs, which was the question that I was asking Mika in one of our back channels. And what's cool about that is it really extends this platform out. And we're doing some discovery on this right now with our MCPs to validate like how this will work in your workflows. So basically you could have a legacy app, say an ASP.NET Web Forms app or WinForms app, whatever it may be. Say you want to go to Blazor or something new on the desktop, maybe Maui. You can get GitHub Copilot in this migration mode, and then you could plug your MCPs into it and add skills to it. And then you could say, all right, I have this application using WinUI, take me to Blazor. Here's an MCP that can help rewrite some of the views from WinUI, because this MCP has the Telerik UI for Blazor knowledge in it. And now you're automating some of those things that used to be a very manual process. So before, it was, I wouldn't say easy, but it was a little more of a straight shot from one business logic to the updated version of that business logic. So going from .NET Full Framework 4.8 Business Logic to .NET Core Business Logic, not so much of a jump. There's some breaking changes and stuff that need to be addressed, but a lot of the syntax is one-to-one. But then you hit the UI layer, and it's like web forms and Blazor is so much different, or web forms and Angular, or web forms or WinForms and Maui, whatever it is. They're using different markup languages and different styles of doing MVVM versus whatever else the other one used. And those are not one-to-one in any way. So you have to have a developer sit there and go through the painstaking task of rewriting pages. And this is something that we think we can interject ourselves into the process using the modernization copilot and saying, hey, we've got our MCP tools. Here's some prompts that'll help. Here's some skills that'll help. And then you can say, all right, I have this existing web forms page, make a Blazor page, and it'll get you pretty close, if not do it all the way. So
do you want to look at the Markdown? I got it loaded up on my side. If you want to just switch over to my screen, we can take a quick look at it. There you go. Yeah.
This is Markdown for what?
Well, this is the repo for the modernized .NET tool that we were talking about, and just wanted to highlight some things in here which were kind of interesting. So this is a README file that talks about getting started here. This is obviously utilizing the DNX command here. So this is the DNX command here for loading it. And then from here, it basically outlines the structure for the agent itself. So you can see the core tools here, variety of tools for managing state, and then the workflow, state awareness, etc., how it does its work. What's interesting about this is when you go to the actual agent on Windows, for example, some of the first high-level notes, which made me laugh: do not have a conversation. Run all the steps in one session, and then it reiterates this. Remember, no conversation mode for this agent. That's important, obviously, because you want to make sure that it's not asking questions and wasting time, etc. So this is part of the structure here for doing this. And here's, you can go through this. It's just a Markdown file if you want, if you're all curious. For loading this up in the context of modernized.NET, if you're utilizing Visual Studio Code, there's a few steps you have to follow. For the CLI itself, you simply just load it in as a plugin, pretty standard stuff. It's the same way in which we do this for Gemini, for Claude, for all these sorts of things. Just load these in context using the /plugin command. So there you go.
Yeah, I think this is baked into Visual Studio by default. So if you go into Visual Studio 2026, in the flyout menu that switches you between agent ask, I don't think Visual Studio has a plan mode, it has agent and ask. I think they have a modernized one as well. If not, it's definitely a tool that shows up in the MCP list. So that is just given. Like it, at least in mine, it's already installed, and I don't recall adding it. So Visual Studio is probably the one product that doesn't have a lot of setup to get that going.
There you go.
But I believe it uses the tooling that they already had in place, which probably explains the try not to have a conversation with that aspect, because it's running that old wizard driven UI, but without the UI in the code, directly as an API. So it's calling a bunch of APIs as part of that MCP process. And then when it's done with that, it'll start, giving you workflows and things that you can continue with your agent to solve for you. But it is an MCP, and it does allow Copilot to interop with other MCPs as it's doing this process. So there is a workflow where you can add different chunks into that. And like I said, there's all kinds of cool ideas that you could have with that. I mean, you could use Playwright to have it verify, like the, you can say these are screenshots from the old app. Use Playwright to, as you translate these over to Blazor or ASP.NET Core, Razor Pages, or whatever your flavor of the week favorite is, you can have Playwright go in and snap screenshots and have those like compared against the prior version of the app until it hits parity with like the layout and the buttons and features that it has. So it could be a really insightful and like quick on-ramp to getting your app migrated. So check that out. It's the modernization for Copilot feature.
Nice.
If before we get back into UI stuff, I've
We'll have to
got
switch back to you. There you go.
I've got
Awesome.
we mentioned WinUI. I don't talk about WinUI much. I'm a web guy, but I know there's a lot of devs out there that have desktop apps that they're building.
Yes. Yes.
WinUI 3. There's actually this WinUI 3 gallery that's really cool, and it has different UI features that you can look at in a gallery, and they're continuously updating this, so you can go in and see the latest and greatest stuff, and they just added some new features to it recently. So that is up on GitHub on WinUI Gallery.
Always been a fan of these sort of UI structures, etc. I think it's a really good way. You show folks the building blocks, and then they can go off on their own. And I think these things are fantastic. I'm sure that they borrow from other frameworks that are out there, things like Storybook, for example, which is a very popular front end tool for component libraries, etc. It's the same idea, basically. Show us the individual components, show us how we can theme them, interact with what's the event model look like. So that's great. I'm glad that they're doing this.
I like how they put it in a nice dashboard and a runnable app too that you can just access. And then they have, different UX elements in here, like capturing things and previewing it with a camera. And then you have like a whole sidebar that you can drill down into different UX interactions. And
treat us like adults. Developers are smart. They know that there are building blocks that they need to use. And so just show us how, put out all the tools, show us what we can use, let us poke them, and then ask questions later,
And Noel says, "Oh, your web forms app can be rewritten by AI now."
Sure.
Yeah, don't let management find out. There goes everybody's job security. Isn't that the big WinForms sell these days? Job security. It's like the next COBOL.
Oh, maybe.
WebForms is great. I'm teasing, and WinForms too. Back to the UI stack. We were watching this in Discord before we came on air. We're trying to do a green room style opening for the show, where when I'm setting up, I'm going to hop in and get my stage set for the show. I was playing this out so I could learn a little bit more about it, because I saw this very shortly before I started the show today. And I was like, oh man, I really want to talk about it, but I didn't have time to deep dive into the whole video. So I started watching it in the green room. And this actually is really neat. A long time ago, there was an episode we did, John, where we were talking about like the Alexa assistants and stuff, and how rudimentary they are. But I was like, wouldn't it be cool if one day like you had one of these in your meeting room, and while you were talking, it's like prototyping like the website or app that you're like bike shedding in your conference room. This is kind of that idea, right?
Nice.
Great minds think alike here. Brad Frost is brilliant. He's always at the forefront of whatever the new thing on the web is. He was one of the people that I learned responsive web design from. I had the pleasure of like actually meeting him in person in
nice.
I think it was Columbus, Ohio, at a conference there. And he had like some great material on responsive web and breakpoints and all of that before anybody else was even aware that those things existed. So I always have been following him ever since, because he's always got a great take on stuff. But in this video, he's got a web page that's listening to his voice.
Yeah, his conversation,
which is being processed through probably something like a Whisper model, something that does like voice recognition, speech to text, all that stuff internally. And then it's got like a coding assistant. I don't know what he's using. He didn't really specify in the video that I could tell like which tool that he was using behind the scenes. Like Copilot SDK just came out. It would be a great use case for that. I don't know if that's specifically what he's using, but while he's talking, it's just coding up a website. And he was like jokingly talking about like, all right, TJ's throwing a Rager barbecue and we want to make sure that people can sign up. And as he's talking, it's like building the sign up page and like creating the hero section and all of that. So it's got some kind of MCP or RAG functionality where it knows his design system and the design elements that are available. So it's not just like rewriting large swaths of code. It's, you know, reusing components that he already has, which is, you know, super helpful because you don't want to just like regenerating a whole new design system every time you say something. But it could switch between different themes and all sorts of stuff that he had. I would imagine some kind of function call running in the background.
Yeah. The important aspect for this isn't hard to understand. I mean, it's just, you know, it's similar to what you can do with other tools today just by talking to it. But I would imagine a lot of the heavy lifting has to go around the fact that there's a lot of filtering going on here. So as the agent is listening to the conversation, it's throwing away stuff that doesn't matter, because in a conversational context like this, you're probably saying stuff like, oh yeah, that's cool, and like doesn't matter, like, or if it's like a reinforcement value or something like that. So I would imagine the heavy lifting here is on the filtering, and then after that it's just sending commands to an agent saying, hey, gen this, gen that.
Yeah, but
sniffing out what's important.
I think it's really cool to see it do it in real time.
Yes.
The agents that we have now, like GitHub Copilot and stuff like that, you know, you see the chat stream of thought, and then like you have to like accept a change, and then you got to run the app. Where this is doing it all like live and in the moment, which I thought was really neat. So that is on Brad Frost's YouTube channel, or you can just go to bradfrost.com and just follow his website. Like I said, you're going to find a bunch of stuff there that's great because he's always talking about something cool. Finally, in the States, we have a home finding application. There's like a dozen of these things. I don't know if any of these are global, but like we have Zillow. Is that a thing in Australia, John?
We have our versions of that.
You have your versions of it. Okay.
Yes.
Well, this one is one of those style websites. It's pretty popular, and they have been blowing up my TV with advertisements for their new AI feature.
Okay.
And I think I shared with audio. I'm going to play this because like
I'm on the site now. I'm looking at it myself.
I'm pretty sure this is the ad that they play.
The future of home shopping is here, and it's only on
Hopefully the audience
homes.com.
can hear this.
It is working. It's
Introducing
working.
Homes AI.
Welcome back. How can I help?
Homes, please find me a 3-bedroom home in Atlanta. I love to cook. Show me the kitchens. Narrow it down to homes walkable to a Whole Foods.
Oh, God.
Please take me
Okay.
on a virtual tour of the second listing. What's unique about this home?
What stands out is the open floor plan with 10-foot ceilings, vintage wide plank French oak floors, and a gourmet kitchen with Viking
I
appliance.
don't like this decor. Please remove the furniture. Show me that kitchen. What are
Tear
the
down
countertops?
tear down the support
The
walls.
countertops are white quartz. They're stylish, durable, and give the kitchen a modern feel.
I love it. Connect me with the listing agent.
Who buys
Ready
homes
to
like
see
this?
what you will find with Homes AI?
Okay, signing your life away at 3 homes right now. It's like-
So the interesting aspect of this,
I hope this is read only, by the way.
as a developer,
Yes.
is the interaction model and the fact that they're
course.
advertising it on TV. And I was talking to some folks that I'm working with about this because we have a feature that I pioneered for our UI components that acts like this. So we have here, I'll pull it up really quick. It is
They're basically trying to replace real estate agents.
I wouldn't say that because at the end of the video it says connect.
I
to the
would.
I mean, you're getting to your agent faster, if anything. That's one of those
Fair
things
enough.
like we talked about with like the radiology aspect of AI.
Yeah.
Like it actually
Complementary.
created a boom in radiology because they needed more people to read the final results after the AI processed it, and take more, scans and those type of things. So like the bottleneck shifted to somewhere else, and it created like a hiring trend. So you could say that may happen for this as well. Like there's still going to be an agent. Like you're not going to just like go to PayPal and like check out your $300,000 home you just bought. Like you're probably still going to go see an agent. Another thing that you can do is use agent in another sense of the word, where it's an AI agent that goes out and does scheduling. So you could say, I want to see 10 houses. I'm not saying that their app does this, but like potential next version would be, I want to schedule 10 houses. And then it does like the whole, what's the old computer sciencey thing?
Traveling salesman.
Traveling salesman. And it figures out like
Dijkstra.
how to go find, what order to see the houses in most efficiently, and then sends that to a human real estate agent.
Knew studying computer science would be valuable one day.
So the real estate agent, gets a notification like, your agenda tomorrow is to take John Bristow to see these 10 houses. Here's the fastest way to get through the tours. I could see that happening. But anyway, back to the interaction side of this. I'm going to go over to demos here and then grid. And then on our data grid, let's head over to, I want to see the full demo. Can't do that off the main page. There we are. So we have this same interaction model here with our AI Smartbox. And this is more dedicated to a single UI component rather than the whole user experience. Where,
we did this earlier, I think, in an earlier show where we talked about getting rid of columns, etc.
I'm getting lag here from streaming while I'm trying to do this. But you have this assistant that you can just use voice to control, and it will rearrange the grid for you and do all of the clicking interactions without you having to lay a finger on the UI. So this is now part of this Homes AI app where essentially...
Oh, wait. They're using your frameworks?
No, they're not using ours. They're using the same
okay.
interaction, the same user experience pattern.
Okay.
And I'm sure the plumbing underneath is very similar to how I created the data grid one, where it's sharing a state between the application and the user and the AI, and the AI can manipulate that state on your behalf. So it's a very simple pattern to follow. The hard part is the heavy lifting by the natural language model in function calling that the large language model has to do. But that's like all part of its training. Like a simple prompt and some function calls is all you need to make this happen. And I have an article written about it that explains the whole thing. But
I tried to use it, and I'm blocked. Maybe I'm geo-locked here, but I tried to use Homes AI on there. There you go.
Yeah. So let me go to it really quick. But there's a couple points I want to make about all of what's happening here. So
it's a browser app. That's crazy. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So and by the way, Homes AI, I'm not getting a kickback from Homes.com for this. We just happen to have a great idea that we're both trying to sell people on, and that's like this voice interaction model.
Sure.
But they even have a banner for it here at the top that links you back to that video again, as cheesy as that video is.
Yes.
They are paying for airtime on like every channel here in the States for people to see this. I want to dive into why they did that in just a minute. But let's test this out for a second. So let's see. Let's just go Austin, Texas, just because I don't want to show my own neighborhood on screen. And then you'll see there's a filter box that you can. This is the
very typical,
right?
Yes, very typical.
This is the old way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're going to do this with AI. So you could come in here and you could hit the voice button and get started. It's got to queue up.
Hi, welcome back. How can I help?
Show me homes between the price range of 350 to 450,000.
Nice.
Okay, I'm going to hit end on that just because I don't want to.
Yes.
It'll keep listening. But
Yes.
if I go back here, you'll see it's filled this in. So this is that shared state that I'm talking about. Like somewhere
Yes.
in the background, there's a JSON object being tossed back and forth between the AI and the front end of the application.
I'm wondering how well it filters. I'm wondering if you can have a conversation with the AI, because this is the common pattern you see whenever you open end something as input, and people are naturally going to exploit it. Sorry, that's where my brain goes immediately.
Like exploit it how
So one of the things we saw is, in the textual variety, etc. Whenever you give people the ability to run whatever workloads they will, in the textual variety, they'll use it to run, for example, Bitcoin mining, for example. In this context, I'm wondering, because it is somewhat open-ended, I'm wondering how much they must be doing a large set of filters, or giving it guardrails around what it can and cannot do.
Yeah, so essentially what you do in something like this is it probably has a function call for each one of the filters that's on screen, or a function call that can reason about different types of filters. So you don't have to literally program each one of them. But that's how we do it. We have a set of tools that can do different types of filters. So there might be one that controls like paging and sorting and filtering. So if you say sort the grid, it pulls that tool and runs it. And then your inputs are translated into what makes sense for the UI. So I said 300 to 400,000 with the word thousand. You could probably also say something like 300K, and it would know, oh, okay, in the context of what we're working with here, that means 1,000. So you're not gonna come back to like a letter K and some broken validation or something silly like that. So there's that type of stuff that's built in. But there's a lot of filter criteria here, and I'm sure it's got function calls to do a lot of stuff with that. But yeah, this is a very cool real world application that's up and running in the wild, which brings me back to why the advertisement, right? So we're talking about this in a meeting, and I'm showing this, and somebody was like, well, we have this feature in our data grid. Are people asking for it? I'm like, that's the point of the ad, is that developers aren't asking for this feature yet because their stakeholders haven't asked them to build it yet, because their customers haven't asked them to get this yet, because nobody knows how this stuff works.
You can do it. Yeah, knows that you could do it. Yeah.
And somebody at Homes AI, I'm just guessing, just off of my gut feeling, there were a bunch of people in a room, and they may have showed this to like a focus group or something, and they're like, but how are people going to know this exists and how to use it, and will they want to use it? And somebody was like, we better have an ad that we run to show people like this is a new thing and we're first to market, and teach them at the same time like how to operate this.
It's not for folks like you and me. It's for folks who type Google into google.com, and I think that this is great. Let's give them capabilities to do filtering without having to type, etc.
Yeah, users don't know until you show them. But like, when have you ever seen a hard or a software feature advertised on TV? Like,
Apple does it a lot. They and so does Google, and so does maybe not so much. They show possibilities, is what I'm saying.
They only do it when it's something like that's novel, right? Like that was my point with all this, is like, this is new. It's so new that it's running ads on TV new. Like,
I think I would like the scenario. I like these scenario-driven ads. I know where you're going with this. It's like, don't focus so much on the technology, focus on the scenario. So you're a person driving. This is the common scenario. It's like, we got to buy a house, and then you're driving around with the phone, and being able to talk to the phone, and then having it. I think that would be a better ad, if you ask me, is to show the young couple looking for a house, maybe, you know, they're starting out a new family, whatever. This is what I did when I was looking for a house. We would drive around
No, you
and look
didn't.
at houses.
You went on a national television show. Don't
Fair
even try.
Look, this was the early 2000s when I bought my first home. We didn't have these sites, but if I had something where I could drive around ooh, this one's nice.
You
You
need
know,
to
you just
focus in
talk
on
to
the
the phone.
reference I just dropped, though, because people are
I
probably,
know.
what the hell is he talking about? You were on.
I skip over this. I ignore your stupid jokes, Ed. Don't worry
It
about
wasn't
it.
a joke, though. You were seriously on a television show to find your home. What was it called? House Hunters?
Yeah, House Hunters International. My wife and I were on that.
Literally
somewhere
on
ago.
House Hunters International. I didn't just
Yes.
pull that out of thin air and just throw
Sure.
it at you, John.
Yeah, well, there you go. Anyways, yeah, just to have the device in your hand and just to say, hey, we're looking for a home. We're in the local area. I think that's the commercial they should have done. But you know,
Yeah.
I think the person who did this commercial, to be honest, is probably too oriented towards the technology. They should have done this the Apple-esque way, which is, and this is the thing that kills me about Apple. I use Siri all the time, and it is not like the commercials make it out to be. It is very frustrating. But you can see the scenario in your head. It's like, that's what I want to do. So the idea here is that I would just have my phone with me, and I would just say, hey, find me a house around. We're here. We're looking at a house. How much is that house? How much is that house? That house isn't for sale. You know, can you give us a map of, you know, it's a scenario-driven sort of ad for sure.
Yep. Here's another one that I've seen on TV. This was fairly recent. It was, I believe, I've seen it at least 2026.
Yeah.
The Gemini ad. And again, it's another one of those things. It's a user experience that's so new that you need an advertisement to explain how it works, or people wouldn't know how to use it. So this is the era we are in right now. Like, the new stuff is coming, and it's so different that it's not, it may be intuitive once you see it, but it's not intuitive to the point where, like, you know, you've seen software before, you know how menu, you know, drop down menus work and yada yada yada. This is something that's you know, you can talk to, and you need to know how you can talk to it, what questions you can ask it, and what tasks it can perform. And that's the new era of UI.
I think we have a lot of learning to do from we being the collective user, that I can talk to these things. So, but we're gonna see a lot of apps that come back with the classic Siri model of, I'm sorry, I can't do that. I'm sorry, I can't do that, because it doesn't understand. So
yeah, but it's gotten a lot better.
Yes, it has. It has. Yes.
Like the assistants of the past. At least they can give you a much more intelligent answer than
I'm waiting for the ad where it's like, tear down that support beam. We can't do that. The whole house is going to collapse.
Yeah. That's all I've got for today. I was going to take this back to the Discord channel with audio.
Show that ugly URL. Come on.
I'm going to show the URL.
Where's that ugly URL?
Let's go back to Discord.
There it is. Hey, awesome.
If you have anything about the show that was on that you'd like to discuss in Discord at any point, doesn't have to be right now. It can be at any point you see this video. Maybe you're watching it recorded. You want to chat about something you saw in Discord. Come on our Discord channel and give us a shout. Reference whatever it was on the show that you want to see. We can have a conversation about it. I was going to take it back to a live chat where I could, you know, speak to folks, but I can, every time I go into Discord, whether it's with my team or just on my own, my video and audio don't connect. So once I figure that out, we'll do a little more live interactive pieces on there. But text chat, jump into our Discord channel. You know, drop your thoughts in there, and me and my team will respond, and other folks that are there in our chat room can have a go at it too. So keep the conversation going. John, any parting words?
I think you need a better URL, dude. That thing is ugly.
That's on my to-do list. I will create a vanity URL for our Discord.
Please.
We need to get some more advertising up for it anyway. Like right now we're just sending out, it's just booting up. So we're just giving out the link, but we'll
Yep.
have it on our web pages and stuff, and I'll just start pointing to that eventually. Just say Telerik.com, click the icon, but unfortunately we don't have that ready yet. So soon, John. Make sure you find John at Octopus Deploy, and you can always catch
Yep.
me at TelerikinProgress.com. And is there, yeah, exactly. Isn't there a progress URL that points to that invite? We're working on it. The gears of progress are turning a little
Shortened
slowly.
URLs are very hard. You know, we need AI and all the things to make them work. Sorry, I'm trashing you, Ed, right now. So.
No, we deserve it. We should have had something going, but we're in the process of being very corporate-y about it. So we don't have it on our website yet.
Gotcha.
Yeah. When you get
Say
to
no
a
more.
company of a certain size, you can't just
Yes,
like
of course.
willy-nilly post links in the header of your website. You have to go through channels and processes and get sign-offs. And Nicole had one at one of the webinars. I don't. I'll have to ping her and see if she's still got like a vanity URL. But yep. John, anything else?
No, just you know, as we're talking here, I just saw that GPT 5.4 just shipped. Well, I guess we'll talk about that next week.
We'll talk
It's a
about
life in AI, folks. So
No, we'll talk about it. Where, John? In Discord.
right in Discord. Sorry.
We have
feel
an
like
AI
I'm-
thread.
I feel like the Manchurian. I'm gonna feel like the Manchurian candidate. As soon as I have something to say, I'll be like, put it in the Discord. You know.
You can
so,
put it in our AI channel on Discord, John, if you want to talk about it.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about it also on the show next week. We'll talk about what we talked about in the AI channel about Claude on the show next week. And then the following week, I will be at the MVP Summit. If you're an MVP and you're watching, come say hi. But we won't have a show for the week of the 22nd through the 27th or whatever it is, because I will be AFK. But see you all tomorrow on our AI live streams. We've got 2 tomorrow, one with Phil, or no, actually, he may not be on tomorrow. I think his is monthly. But we will have one in the afternoon, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Alyssa and Catherine and I should be on to talk about some AI stuff, do some demos, whatever. So we'll
Nice.
see you then.